cease immediately. Stay back now.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we are sitting back and enjoying the 10 most satisfying kills in Red Dead Redemption 2. For this list, we'll be looking at those brutal takedowns that had a little bit of our hearts in them, whether they were performed by a player or just witnessed at close proximity. Revenge is a dish best served cold, but it's also pretty satisfying when it's still warm. In fact, revenge is just delicious, so we'll get around for the table, please. Which of these was your personal favorite? Let us know in the comments down below. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Edmund Lowry Jr.
I mean, it'll be fun for me, but it won't be nice for you.
Is there any more despicable type of person than a serial killer? John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, or Red Dead 2's own Edmund Lowry Jr. Tracking down Lowry's sadistic murders is a part of a Strangers and Freaks mission that ends with our very own Arthur being ensnared in his trap. Lowry's crimes and personality are equally disgusting and egregious, so watching Arthur beat the snot out of him is almost as satisfying as watching him put a bullet in this awful pig person.
Get him off me!
The Aberdeens.
Well, ain't this a rare treat? Why didn't you tell me we had guests coming? I'd have fixed myself up nice.
Let's get this out of the way. The Aberdeens are yucky, alright? They're icky yuck town, and for any players who decided not to kill these two, why? The Aberdeen siblings are incestuous, murderers, and possible cannibals. How do we know that they are incestuous? Take one look at them!
That smells delicious. The food don't smell too bad neither.
Oh, stop it, you!
After drugging, robbing, and attempting to kill Arthur, the player, should they want to, gets the opportunity to make their way back to the farm to retrieve the money that was stolen. When they enter the house, a shocked Brad and Tammy Aberdeen wait, and the player is free to enact their revenge on these two societal monstrosities. Shoot them, please. Anthony Foreman.
Mr. Morgan, we have a problem. A real problem. It's Tilly.
What?
She's been taken by them Foreman brothers she used to run with. Come along!
A lot of the gangs in RDR2 are evil. By comparison, our own personal gang are angels because they have just a handful of morals. One of these gangs is the Foreman Brothers gang, the old gang of our own sweet Tilly Jackson, the one she escaped from after murdering the head of the gang's cousin.
Your goddamn cousin had it coming, Anthony Foreman!
Now look, we never get a clear idea of why Tilly murdered this gang member, but after they track her down and kidnap her, we begin to understand why. After finding and killing as many of the gang that get in our way as we can, only to discover Tilly tied up and beaten, we get all the information we need to chase down the leader, Anthony Foreman, bring him back to Tilly, and make the decision of what to do with him. I recommend the most satisfying option. Treat him like a pincushion.
Sorry, partner. We can't take no chances with the likes of you.
Sheriff Gray.
Arthur, you've met but not been introduced to Mr. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sheriff Gray.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Sheriff Gray is an incompetent and self-aggrandizing dingbat. Gray is a clear recipient of nepotism as he is a member of the wealthy Gray family, a family whose main front is the town that Gray is a sheriff of. Gray is designed to annoy the player. His smug belief that he's in control of a room when he's clearly the dumbest person there makes him the perfect recipient of a swift bullet in the head. After he sets up a trap for our gang, which results in the death of the lovable Sean McGuire, he brings himself into view of the player, underestimating the foes he's put himself up against. There's no theatrics, no drawn-out death, just the opportunity to swiftly and quickly drop this loudmouthed hick in less than 1 second. Colm O'Driscoll.
Today is a great day, Arthur. Today is the day they are going to hang Colm O'Driscoll.
Colm spends a massive chunk of the game being the oldest and most direct antagonist of our gang, and in particular our gang's leader Dutch. Colm and the O'Driscoll gang represent the moral opposite of ours. Colm and his boys were directly responsible for the death of fan favourite Sadie Adler's husband, so when Colm is sentenced to hang to death, it's all the more satisfying that Sadie is there to make sure it happens. Colm walks up to the rope smugly as he has a plan in place to ensure his escape, a plan that the player directly stops. Although we don't pull the trigger ourselves, it's immensely satisfying to see Colm panic when he realises his plan has been quashed. If it was just about Dutch, we might have felt bad for Colm in those brief moments of realization, but unfortunately, when you come for our girl Sadie, you get the bladey. Well, actually, you get the ropey, but that doesn't rhyme. Milton.
Agent Milton, Agent Ross, Pinkerton Detective Agency, seconded to the United States government.
After the events that ended Red Dead Redemption 1, we've grown to have a justifiable hatred towards the law, in particular, Edgar Ross. In RDR2, Ross appears with the Pinkerton Detective Agency and his superior, Andrew Milton. If Milton is teaching Ross the ways of the world, we can only assume he is one bad man. Milton and his forked tongue make many attempts at coercion and deceit throughout RDR2, and towards the end of Arthur's adventure and following a tussle that Arthur is losing, our very own Abigail Marston steps in to take a chunk out of Milton's brain. Hopefully Ross doesn't remember this.
Using your strength, Mr. Morgan. You're still a yapping dog, Mr. Milton.
Angelo Bronte.
Why do you take his son?
Excuse me.
There's nothing more satisfying than when somebody underestimates us and it blows up in their face. The smug and often abrasive Angelo Bronte essentially runs the city of Saint Denis, using his money as a tool to control politics and law.
You ask me to show compassion. Have I not shown you almost infinite compassion already by simply allowing you to breathe in my presence?
Bronte was also the man who took John's son, Jack, from the Braithwaites in order to traffic him for profit, we assume. Bronte plays above us at all times, always thinking he has control of the situation and can use his money to get himself out of any tight spot. In his final moments, he remains smug in his belief that he can't be harmed, and this smugness is what tips Dutch over the edge.
You don't even possess your own men. $1,000 to the man who kills him and sets me free.
What are you gonna say now?
After drowning him, Dutch feeds his remains to the alligators, and a shaken John and Arthur realize that Dutch is losing himself. I, for one, am so happy Dutch lost himself because Bronte is absolute poo.
Jesus. Part of your philosophy books cover feeding a fella. Good goddamn alligator, Dutch.
Catherine Braithwaite.
Drive the stuff into Rhodes, head over to the tavern run by Mr. Gray, and give the stuff out for free.
This old biddy is the worst. Catherine Braithwaite, the matriarch of the Braithwaite family, enlists the help of our gang to do damage to the rival Gray family. She is tough, we'll give her that, but she also locked her mentally ill daughter in an outhouse and let her starve to death to not tarnish the family's name, so she's also just not that chill.
Oh, we've got money, Mr. Matthew.
Catherine drags us into her business, double-crosses our gang, and kidnaps Jack and sells him to Bronte. The revenge here is as delicious as it gets. After gunning down her entire family and setting her mansion ablaze, Dutch drags her through the house by her hair and the gang surrounds her outside.
What about down?
Look, the hair dragging was hard to watch, that's for sure, but after stealing and selling John's son Jack and causing the problems she did, there is nothing more satisfying than watching her running into her burning house, crying, "Oh God, I think I might be a psychopath." The KKK.
Our numbers are waning.
This might surprise you, but there was a bunch of racism in 1899. I know, but it's true. Our gang does not discriminate based on race or gender, and when faced with racism in the open world, there's only one option. Chitty chitty bang bang, bitch. Throughout Red Dead Redemption 2, the player can have a totally random encounter in wooden regions of the map when traveling at night. There is no set location, but if they're lucky, the player can come across the KKK in the middle of either a meeting, an initiation, or a ceremony. Then, the player is free to do whatever they wish to these people. I recommend shooting each and every one of them dead.
Where are you going?
Normally, shooting and killing unarmed citizens in Red Dead 2 means that you'll lose honor. The game has one exception though, these jamokes. Micah Bell.
How's that, of yours?
She's good. Didn't reckon I should waste my time killing you.
Are you surprised? Micah Bell is the bad egg of the group. From the beginning of the game, the player can tell Micah is here not because he believes in the same core values that the rest of the gang holds, but because he just wants a gang around him.
You better watch your goddamn mouth, boy! Or...
Take it easy, cowboy.
He terrorizes Sadie when we first meet her. He is racist towards his fellow gang members. He most definitely killed Jack's dog. He corrupts Dutch with his silver tongue, which essentially dooms the gang. He shot Mrs. Grimshaw. He was the mole for the Pinkertons. And worst of all, he kills Arthur. If you got either of those two endings. Micah is as evil gets, and that's why he becomes our final antagonist and boss.
Well, maybe after all this is over, I'll go pay her a call. And the boy.
His death is beautiful, and the game allows you to decide just how many bullets you want to put in this piece of trash. Micah Bell, see you in hell. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.